Hey everybody, welcome to MHG Moves, a local video series dedicated to showing you the best places to eat, drink, and play in Thurston County. I'm Jason Munoz, a realtor at Munoz Home Group. I'm going to be your host.
Un rôle plus grand, instant en 50.
Today we're at the Olympia Oyster House. This has been a staple in Olympia since 1924, and today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to go inside and we're going to talk with Scott and Patrick, the owners of the restaurant, and they're going to give us an exclusive look inside and tell us a little bit more about the history of the Oyster House. All right, let's check it out. Hey guys, thanks for meeting with me today. I really appreciate it. So, real quick, what's the history behind the Oyster House?
Well, it started as a hulling plant, oyster hulling plant in the 1800s. And I think in 1924, they opened up a window and started shucking oysters on the sidewalk for people going by.
Okay.
And it was just an oyster house on the sidewalk. And then it eventually turned into a full restaurant when the Olympia Oyster Company moved out to their new location out on, what bay is it?
Oh, I forget which bay it is, but it's a third generation still.
I actually didn't know that. That's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so look, I know there's a really cool story as to why you guys got involved. So, when did you guys reopen the Oyster House, and tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we reopened in February. We bought it last October and decided to do some remodeling and adding a little bit more history and adding our own feel to it. I'll let you tell them how we met and got together.
Well, I mean, Patrick and I met probably, 5 years ago, and people kind of considered us competitors, and we're like, no, we're really good friends. And him and I would always get together and talk about restaurants and bar industry trends, etc. And him having a place right down the road from us at Bud Bay, we've always wanted to get our hands on this place because we always thought it was an ideal spot.
Okay.
And
so, tell us a little bit more about some of the improvements you guys have made since you reopened.
Well, adding in history is one thing, but being the Olympia Oyster House, you had to have an oyster checking station. That was the first thing we decided on, was putting a live action station in the middle. And then the historical significance.
from old historic St. Martin's windows when you first walk in.
Oh, wow.
The back bar that you see, that's actually the old Olympia Brewery tasting room from the Olympia Brewery.
Really?
The original wood. And then same with the oyster stand, or the oyster checking station, that's also the old Olympia wood. But really, you just kind of have to walk around, and there's a lot of history if you look around.
I know you guys have made some other improvements that make this place truly unique. Can you tell us more about that?
The list goes quite extensive there, from live music. Oyster House always used to have live music out here in the patio, so we redid the patio, redid the side of the building here, so we could take a better view of this beautiful view we have.
Yeah,
We're adding some gazebos out back, and we're going to put some fire pits out there, and the back parking we're going to turn into more of a outdoor, casual themed place to go hang out and listen to some music in the summer or the winter. Before we bought the building, I knew that it needed parking. So, I talked with the yacht club and I locked up about 70 spots next door, which is all about to be resurfaced. It's going to be a really nice parking lot. But we couldn't do the business and the volume that we're doing without that parking lot.
For sure. I never have an issue parking here at all anymore.
And parking on waterfront was just killing me inside. So there's 10 spots. I could give those up for 70.
Definitely, definitely. And it's going to enhance the customer experience, I think, a ton.
True.
That's great. There's a new menu. What's your favorite item on the menu?
Oh, go ahead, Patrick.
Well, you got to say the Drunken Chef. It's all over social media. People are just blowing up about it. And the calamari steaks are awesome.
They are.
And instead of doing calamari rings like a lot of restaurants, we get the calamari and cut steak strips out of it, and they're just awesome.
They're amazing. I've had them.
The whole menu is very unique.
Yep.
It's hard to really pinpoint one item. Our chefs have done a great job just making it different than some of your other places and our places in town. So
Definitely.
Yeah, and a lot of people ask, what about this and this off of the old menu? Honestly, we created an entire new menu.
Yeah.
You see the different eras of this place go by, like the Browns and the Barretts and the different families that have owned it. And well, we kind of see ourselves as the next steward of the Olympia Oyster House, and everything's new.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. It's Jason Munoz with Munoz Home Group. I really appreciate you checking out the video. If you haven't already, please check out the new Olympia Oyster House. Great food, great scenery, views of the sound, live music, oysters.
where can you go wrong?